They were newlyweds, just 2 months into a new life together, and they composed this song about their love. He was the successful music producer Raymond Brown, known as Scotty Beats. They were eager to start a family. But late one night, a group of young men tried to steal Brown's car outside the Browns' home in suburban Maryland. When Brown confronted them, they shot him.
I wasn't sure that it hit him until I actually saw, this little hole in his sweatshirt. And so I said, oh my God, and then he started looking at me. He kind of was like squirming, and he said, go home. And I was like, I'm not going to leave you here.
As her husband was taken away, she traveled to the police station with family members.
They interviewed me, and then they gave me his rings back in a little plastic container. They gave me his wedding ring. And I still wear it.
There have been arrests in the case, but the trial has been postponed. As the trial approached, one of the state's key witnesses was killed. The hit allegedly set up by the man accused of killing Brown. Gregory Latimer is Danielle Brown's attorney.
When you have a witness, a big witness, and this was a big witness, that is killed in the middle of a prosecution, it is catastrophic, because it puts the prosecutor in a place where they got to start over from square one. In this case, there was talk about even not going forward with the prosecution.
The intimidation and murder of witnesses happens with alarming regularity in the Washington area, according to federal and local authorities. There is a well-run federal witness protection program, but most murder cases aren't covered by it. Since early last year alone, at least 3 witnesses have been killed on D.C. streets. Meantime, in Prince George's County, the man accused of killing Brown and that man's brother have been indicted on charges of conspiring to kill the witness in the Brown case. And there's a new Maryland law stating that if a defendant makes a witness unavailable, that witness's testimony can still be used. Prince George's County State's Attorney, Glenn Ivey.
The idea is to take the incentive away from witness intimidation, because the testimony can be presented to the jury anyway.
State and local jurisdictions nationwide have been criticized for failing to keep witnesses safe. But Ivey says that wasn't the case here. He says the murdered witness had been relocated, but was lured back to his old neighborhood.
You should stay away from the people who want to kill you, basically. Don't believe that they've changed their minds. Don't believe that they've changed their views. Don't believe that things are okay. Stay away from them.
Well, I guess that might have worked in the horse and buggy days.
Latimer says law enforcement officers, instead of instilling trust, often threaten witnesses.
What the prosecutors do and what the police do is say, well, I know you're reluctant and you may be scared, but this is what we're going to do. If you don't cooperate with us, we're going to tell people, or we're going to make it known or available to people to know that you have been talking to us. And so now you are going to be even more vulnerable.
Ivey and Latimer agree there's an anti-snitch mentality in communities hit hard by violence.
Some people don't like snitches.
This, combined with widespread suspicion of police, makes solving crimes more difficult.
We really have to stop treating entire communities like everybody's the same and try and figure out who are the people who are actually committing the crimes. Let's target them for our law enforcement efforts. And then, treat the citizens like partners.
Danielle Brown says she called the police as their car was being stolen. The operator told her she couldn't send an officer and asked instead if the Browns had made their car payments. Brown says despite Maryland's new witness protection law, she lives in fear and in hiding.
I don't know that I'll ever feel safe. After seeing something like that, I can't even get that vision out of my head of him lying on the ground, bleeding to death. I don't think you could ever feel safe after seeing something like that again.
Touch me, hold me, love me all that I know.
Raymond Brown was killed almost 3 years ago. The trial for his murder is set for March of 2010. Laurel Bowman, VOA News, Washington.